Hey, welcome to Twist and Turn. I'm going to show you through the studio portion and then I'll move down to the river. This one I started in 2023, talking about the headwaters of the James River being in the mountains. This is the shadow of a mountain. And I wanted to spend time on the river getting to know it. So really this was the beginning. And then there was a root ball that was deposited by the flood this spring that showed up on the rocks in the flat waters. So that kind of spurred the work on the river. All my stuff is call and response. So I have formal stuff in the gallery like this, where you can get to know my language. Some things are predicted in nature. Other things pop out on their own. But this will help you start to see when it's particularly camouflaged. So here's some horsehair and a twisted trumpet vine. The one was decayed, it grew with another one, so I twisted and then it was decayed. I took it out. But I set this intention of getting to know the river, and I did between these flat waters, which is no rapids, so it's less intimidating for me. And I got to learn how to fish, all the nooks and crannies of different wood piles that I looked through, became familiar, and this whole idea of mapping not on human terms, but on animal terms, because I had to go and find mussel shells, and that meant finding the last meal of the otter. And so it was this kind of remapping on terms of things that will always change. And I like that concept. This is reservoir, so it looked like a drawing of an underground water source. And then this one is, these are both on the James, so we'll visit those later. Here's a map down here on this table that I built. I'm pretty proud of this little table. It's only about a mile round trip. I'd love to take you out there, so DM me if you want someone to paddle with. If you need a boat, I can hook you up with one. Here are the mussel shells. And a little focused light. I think it's like the ospreys hunted. I got to know where each family was. Z-dam is particularly their favorite. And I found this on the island where you can portage over. And I feel like it looks like a silhouette of the wing of the bird. And the mussel shells become the feathers until you look on the inside. This is the turn of Twist and Turn. I use tung oil to make this kind of rough bark pop, so it becomes this kind of own lettering and mapping on itself. I didn't want it to be super smooth, as a lot of driftwood sculpture can be, but more showing off how it aged. Age is really important to my work, and because it shows the fragility. All my stuff's temporary, but since things are fragile, I usually don't want people to touch them because they break. But in here, I know people like to touch stuff, so I made it the objects that I found. You could just pick them up and mess with them and build your own thing. It's like this really cool piece that's open. It kind of looks like a shoe. So I'll definitely do stuff with it in the future, but it didn't work. So I'll gather a lot of materials, some things that are repetitive, and then I'll see how they work together in conjunction with the ones that I built out in the woods. This is the making of. All these pictures are different times and how I made them. And the last portion is outside.